The most anticipated camera of the year is finally coming into focus, and it is set to change everything we know about photography. If you thought the 61 megapixels of the previous generation were the peak of full-frame quality, Sony is about to prove you wrong with a massive shift. This isn't just a small update to an old model. We're looking at a total architectural shift in how we capture digital light. This is the machine the professional world has been waiting for, and it is officially known as the Sony A7R6. This powerhouse is rumored to feature a staggering 8-megapixel stacked sensor that will redefine the limits of a 35mm body. Whether you are a landscape photographer in the Pacific Northwest or a studio pro in London, this camera represents a massive leap forward. Stick with me as we break down every authentic detail, every leak, and the exact specifications you need to know before the launch. To understand why this camera is so special, we must look at the heart of the machine, which is the brand new sensor design. For years, the R series has been the gold standard for high resolution, but that detail often came at the cost of slow processing speed. That is all changing now because reliable industry leaks suggest Sony is moving away from the traditional back-illuminated sensor dot in its place. We are getting an 80-megapixel Exmor RS stacked sensor, which is a total game-changer for high-resolution photography. By stacking the processing circuitry directly behind the pixel layer, the readout speed of this camera increases exponentially. This means that for the first time in history, we are getting ultra-high resolution without the heavy rolling shutter or jello effect. It is not just about raw megapixels though, because Sony is pairing this sensor with the new Bionz XR2 processor. This chip is estimated to be 8 times more powerful than previous generations, acting as the high-speed engine for the entire system. This chip is the secret behind the rumored 16 stops of dynamic range when you are using the mechanical shutter. Imagine shooting a high-contrast sunset in the Grand Canyon and having the latitude to pull details out of the deepest shadows perfectly. This camera is pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible, moving straight into the territory of expensive medium-format systems. The best part is that all of this power comes in a standard form factor that actually fits inside a normal gear bag. The autofocus is another area where the technology is becoming so advanced that it is almost frightening to see in action. While the previous model introduced a dedicated AI processing unit, this new version takes that intelligence to a much higher level. We are seeing reports of skeletal prediction technology that does not just follow a simple face or a human eye. The camera's AI can actually understand the human or animal skeletal structure to predict where the subject will move next. Moves behind a tree or turns away. The AI predicts the movement based on the body's posture, keeps the focus locked exactly where it needs to be the moment the subject reappears in the frame. This is combined with 60 frames per second of continuous autofocus calculations to ensure every single shot is tack sharp, even though the burst rate is rumored to be capped at 30 frames per second for 14-bit RAW files. The hit rate is expected to be perfect. For the hybrid shooters who do both photo and video, the video specifications here are truly world-class. The camera is rumored to offer full-frame 10.9K oversampling to produce the cleanest 8K 3OP footage the industry has ever seen. While it likely won't feature internal RAW video, a 10-bit internal recording with Cinetone will be professional grade. There is also talk of an improved thermal architecture because Sony has reportedly redesigned the internal heat dissipation system. This allows for significantly longer recording times without the camera shutting down, even in very demanding or hot environments. For those who love slow motion, you can expect 4K 12op with a minimal crop thanks to that incredibly fast, stacked sensor. The physical build is also getting a much-needed refinement to make the camera more comfortable for long days of shooting. Leaks suggest this model is adopting the deeper, more ergonomic grip found on recent flagship bodies. This makes a world of difference when you're out in the field with a heavy lens or shooting all day at a wedding. The rear LCD is also getting a boost with a rumored 50% increase in brightness for better visibility. This is a direct response to professional photographers who struggle to see their screens while shooting under the harsh Midday Sun, Sony is also reportedly integrating a revised dual-slot system that prioritizes the lightning-fast Sphex press type, a cards. This ensures that the massive 80-megapixel data streams don't slow down the camera during long bursts of action shooting. The electronic viewfinder is rumored to feature a 9.44 million dot resolution with a higher refresh rate for a lifelike experience. Based on recent filings, all signs point to an official announcement for this camera in late 2026. As for the investment, quality like this carries a premium price tag, likely sitting between $4,000 and $4,500. While that is a significant cost, it is justified for a system that kills the need for bulkier and more expensive gear. You have to ask yourself if your workflow actually requires 80 megapixels, or if it might be overkill for your needs. For the commercial pro or the landscape artist who wants to print massive gallery pieces, this camera is not just a luxury.